Okay, students, welcome back to All Force e-learning chemistry classes. Today, I am going to start session 33 of stoichiometry chapter, and we are in the concept of equivalent weight. In the previous two sessions, I have discussed some numericals based on equivalent weight, and today also let me go through some more numerical approach, and after that I will go for the next area. Please get ready with pen and book and note down the numerical along with me. Right, write down 1 gram of, write down students, 1 gram of an acid C6H10O4, write down, requires 0.768 grams of KOH for complete neutralization. For complete neutralization. Question is, how many neutralizable hydrogens, are there in the given acid? That is the question, students. Please write it down. Once I will repeat the data. 1 gram of an acid, as given the formula of acid as C6H10O4, requires 0.768 grams of potassium hydroxide for complete neutralization. An acid and a base he has given. Okay, how many neutralizable hydrogens are there in the given acid? So how to solve this question? One should start thinking like this. An acid base, no doubt a reaction will take place. Okay, that reaction chemically we know neutralization. Everybody knows about that. Basic knowledge of chemistry. And I am going to apply the principle of gram equivalents, because a chemical reaction is going on between acid and base. It means you can simply write the equivalence of acid should be equal to equivalence of base. I am writing that. Equivalence of acid. Write down, students, along with me. Equivalence of acid is equal to equivalence of base. How we are going to get equivalence? As of now we have two approaches. I am writing the approaches formula here. Number of equivalents is equal to weight by gram equivalent weight. Another approach is number of equivalents is equal to moles into n factor. These two we know as of now, two approaches. Now I am going to use that approach. The first one, number of equivalents can be calculated by dividing weight with gram equivalent weight, just like for the calculation of moles, weight by molecular weight. Similarly, for number of equivalents we can write weight by equivalent weight. Okay. Now, what is the given weight of acid given? 1. Again, how you will get equivalent weight? We know one more approach. Equivalent weight is equal to molar mass divided by n factor. Molar mass divided by n factor. Here, what is the molar mass? By observing the formula, we can calculate C6 72 plus 10 82 plus 64. Total 82 plus 64. Total 146. Divided by n factor, just I will write as n simply, should be equal to equivalence of base. Okay, what is the base given? Potassium hydroxide. So it is monoacidic base because it can gives only one hydroxide ion in aqueous solution. So how you get equivalence? Weight divided by, again, Molar mass, potassium 39 plus hydrogen 40 plus oxygen 16, total 56 divided by N factor for potassium hydroxide monoacidic base as 1. Now, on calculation, you will get N value 2. Means 2 neutralizable hydrogens. Nothing but it is also called as basicity of that given acid. So N equal to 2 we will get. So the given acid is a dibasic acid. Instead of asking like this, you can ask the question like this. What is the basicity of acid? The same answer which can be sent as an integer question in advanced paper. Please note down this, students. I will go for next numerical. Okay, students, write down the next question along with me. Please write down. During disproportionation of a neutral molecule X2, a neutral molecule X2, if 60% is oxidized, 60% is oxidized to +2 state, 60% is oxidized to +2 state, then what will be the oxidation state? Just I am writing, students, OS, oxidation state of X, element X in the reduced form. Once again I am repeating, students, during disproportionation of a neutral molecule X2, if 60% is oxidized to +2 state, it means I can write X +2. Okay. Then what will be the oxidation state of X in the reduced form? So one should oxidize, other should reduce. So here simply I am writing Xn. I don't know what is the value of N. That's what I have to find out. Okay. Right. What he has given, 60% is oxidized to X. This is 60%. So 40% is in the reduced state. 60% is oxidized state. Automatically 40% will be reduced form. Our target is, what is the oxidation state of that reduced form X? That's what we have to find out. We have discussed many examples on single basic concept, students. Don't forget that. Number of electrons lost by reductant should be equal to number of electrons gained by oxidant. So here change is 2. So you can write 60 into 2 should be equal to 40 into N. That's it. 40 into N. And that for N, you can also assign negative sign because it is reduced form, because both the X here are 0. One is oxidized state plus the other one should be reduced state, so you will take it as minus symbol. Okay. Right. Now, please cancel out 3. So N equal to 3. So no doubt, the oxidation state here is -3. Why I have assigned minus sign? Because this is in reduced form. So that is oxidation state +2. So that should be equal to this number of electrons gained should be equal to number of electrons lost. That's why I have equated these two for the magnitude, and finally I have assigned the negative sign for 3. So final answer is -3 is the oxidation state of X in the reduced form. Very simple basic concept I have applied, students. Nothing more than that, and don't get confused. This change is 2, this change is n. That's what we will do normally. Instead of n, if you write 3 or 4 like that, what you will do? Not change 2 and this one. And that change, both the changes should be equal for the balanced redox reaction. So for that, I have multiplied 60 into 2 and I equated to 40 into n I got 3. And finally I have assigned negative sign for that 3 because that x is in the reduced form. So note down this, I will go for next numerical. Please note down, friends, I will go for next numerical. Friends, please always write along with me. Don't waste time. We'll go for more number of numericals. Get ready for the next numerical. Get ready. Write down along with me. A metal carbonate on heating gives its oxide and is reduced to, write down, and is reduced to 60% of its original weight. Question is, what is equivalent weight of metal? That are the numerical, students. A metal carbonate on heating gives its oxide and is reduced to 60% of its original weight. It means if you start with 100 grams of metal carbonate, finally it will be left to 60%, 60 grams. It will be left with 60 grams. So, real reaction is, I am writing here, students, metal carbonate is converting into metal oxide. This is a chemical change taking place on heating of carbonate. Okay, weight data he has given. If you start with 100 grams of metal carbonate and finally it will be left with 60 grams of metal oxide on complete conversion. 40% is some loss. Okay, leave it. Now we have to apply the principle of Gram equivalence. Here I am writing in the same step itself. Write down equivalence of metal carbonate should be equal to equivalence of metal oxide. So metal carbonate I can split into 2 halves. That is equivalent weight of metal plus equivalent weight of carbonate ion. So before going to split this, first of all let me write the approach first, then I will split, no problem. So I will start with 100 grams here. So 100 divided by equivalent weight of metal carbonate. Next step I will split, no problem. Here it is finally left with 60% of original. Means if you start with 100, it will be left with oxide as only 60. It means indirectly he has given the weight of oxide 60 divided by equivalent weight of metal oxide. Okay, now I will split 100 by equivalent weight of metal plus equivalent weight of carbonate. Concentrate, students. 60 divided by equivalent weight of metal plus equivalent weight of oxide ion. For these two we can calculate equivalent masses. For carbonate ion, 12 plus 48, 60 by 2, So 100 by equivalent weight of metal plus 30 is equal to 60 divided by equivalent weight of metal plus oxygen, it is 8 because 16 by charge 2. So 3 20s, 5 20s. So cross multiplication 5 em plus 40 is equal to 3 em plus 90. Now I will calculate that. Please concentrate here. Take 3 em to this side. 2 em is equal to, take 40 to this side, 50. So equivalent weight of metal is equal to 25. That is the final answer, students. Nothing I did here. A simple concept I have applied. That is nothing but the principle of gram equivalents. I have equated the equivalents of carbonate and oxide, and weight has given reduced to 60%, reduced to 60% of its original value. Okay, that's why I have taken 60 here and I have split that, and finally I got equivalent weight of metal as 25. Please note down, students, I will make a small change, a word I will change, and I will solve it once again. You please concentrate and please finish off this, and then I will make that change. Please concentrate. What actually I have given this, and is reduced to 60% of its original value. Instead of 2, if I write like this, reduced by 60% of its original value, the entire picture will change. Complete meaning will change. Previously I have solved for reduced to 60% of its original weight. Here this time I have changed as 2 with by and reduced by 60%. Out of 100, reduced by 60%. Remaining is 40%. Remaining is 40%. Then we have to change this. Here, please concentrate, students. Instead of 60, now I have to write here as 40 because reduced by 60%. Already 60% have been taken out. Remaining will be 40. So that's why the metal oxide weight this time you have to take it as 40. So I will make that change on all the steps. Please just try to follow, students. Here I will write once again. Please concentrate up to here as usual normal procedure. Here 2 20s, 5 20s. Okay. 5 by equivalent weight of metal plus 30 is equal to 2 by equivalent weight of metal plus 8. Now I will go for cross multiplication here itself. Here I will do that. 5 em plus 40 is equal to 2 em plus 60. Now take this 3 em is equal to 60 minus 40, 20, equivalent weight of metal. This time you will get it as 20 by 3. See how much difference is there by the change of just one word, to or by. One should be very cautious while solving objective numericals whether he has given to or by. So the entire meaning of the question will change. Please concentrate while solving objective questions, especially we should be very cautious while reading the numerical, what exactly the data is given to us. That is very, very important while solving numerical questions. Nothing more than the concept is simple. Okay, students, let me go for next question. Please get ready. Okay, students, write down. A simple question now I will discuss with you. Mn plus 3 changing into Mn plus 2 and Mn O2. If you observe this carefully, here manganese is in +3 oxidation state. Here it is in +2, here it is in +4. So manganese is reducing, manganese is oxidizing, so undoubtedly one can say the given reaction is a disproportionation reaction but not balanced. So 2 manganese should be there. Then only it will be balanced. Here, what is the N factor for this? Manganese in this question. Now I am going to write like this. 2Mn plus 3 gives rise to Mn plus 2 plus MnO2. What is the N factor of manganese in the given reaction? That is the question, students. Either increase or decrease, both is 1. If you observe this reaction, what I have written, the first step, see there, 1 electron is transferred from +3 to +3. If it is going to lose 1 electron, it will changes into Mn plus 4. That electron will be added here. So +3 will changes into +2. It means only 1 electron is transferred between 2 Mn3 plus ions. See, very simple. 1 electron is transferred from this manganese to this manganese. And this manganese becomes +4, this manganese becomes +2. And 1 Mn plus 3 ion is losing electron, another Mn plus 3 ion is the accepting electron. So, there is transfer of only 1 mole of electron between 2 Mn3 plus ions. So, the N factor is 1/2 because 1 electron is transferred between 2 species. 1 mole of electrons is transferred between 2 moles of Mn3 plus. Means 1 mole is transferred from Mn3 plus to Mn2 plus, Mn3 plus. That's it. So, N factor is 1/2. So, equivalent mass of manganese here in this reaction is formula of manganese, atomic weight AW, manganese is 55, 1/2, that is 110. Once again I will repeat the explanation, students, so please concentrate. You observe here, not here. Here, Mn plus 3, 1 Mn plus 3 is changing into Mn plus 4. It means if you have to lose 1 more electron, that electron should be gained by second Mn plus 3 which changes into Mn plus 2. It means only 1 electron is transferring between 2 Mn3 plus ions. That's why I have written N factor as 1/2. And finally, the equivalent mass of manganese is equal to 55 divided by N factor 1/2, that is 110, more than its atomic mass. Once again. Please note down, students. I will go for next question. Okay, students, get ready. I will explain. See here, I am going to do one important. KHC2O4 dot H2C2O4. Wow, very big. It is nothing but a double salt. Just a mix of two simple salts. It's a double salt of oxalic acid and it's a salt, potassium hydrogen oxalate. Here, I will write once again here in the middle of the board for my convenience. Please concentrate. Once again I will repeat. KHC2O4 dot H2C2O4. Okay, students. It contains 3 neutralizable or ionizable hydrogens in aqueous solution. So it can behave as acid. And it possesses oxalate ion. In all redox reactions, while I am explaining the balancing of redox reactions to you, I have given this oxalate ion always will be changed into carbon dioxide, +4 +3 change is 2 because 2 carbons are there in the oxalate, the change is 2. So N factor is 2 for oxalate. So it is oxidizing, carbon is undergoing oxidation, so it acts as a reducing agent. So this substance can also act as a reducing agent, or simply you can write reductant. Okay, the same substance can act as acid and as well as a reductant. Now, let me find out the N factor for both the reactions. If it is going to react with a base, what will be its N factor? If this substance is going to act as a reducing agent, what will be its N factor in such type of reactions? That's what I want to explain to you. Very important approach. If it behaves as acid, how many hydrogens are there? 1 plus 2. All the 3 hydrogens are neutralizable hydrogens. So N factor is equal to 3. Equivalent weight is equal to formula mass divided by 3. You can write. Suppose in any some other type reaction, if it is going to act as reducing agent or reductant, so it contains 2 oxalate species. For one oxalate, N factor is 2. How many such oxalate ions are there? 2 oxalate ions are there. For one oxalate, we know the N factor is 2. For 2 oxalates, the N factor is equal to 2 into 2, that is 4. The equivalent mass is equal to formula mass divided by 4. See, the same substance can act as acid and can also act as a reducing agent, and based on the role of that substance, we can decide its N factor. If its role is an acid, its N factor is no doubt 3 neutralizable hydrogens. If its role is reductant or reducing agent, then you can fix the N factor as 4. Please note down students, very important for advanced level. Okay, then I will go for the next question. Write down students, write down 8.6 grams of a metal oxide, 8.6 grams of a metal oxide reacts completely with hydrogen gas. Reacts completely with hydrogen gas to yield 1.8 grams of H2O. What is equivalent weight of metal? That's what he has asked. Question mark. Please, I will repeat the data once again, students. 8.6 grams of a metal oxide reacts completely with hydrogen gas to yield 1.8 grams of H2O. Again, it's a chemical reaction. So here I am writing metal oxide, okay, reaction with hydrogen, okay, gives water H2O. Don't bother about the remaining products. No need of bothering about remaining products, because our data is based on only these things. Okay, leave the remaining thing, no problem. Because we have the principle of Gram equivalence. So I can equate these two equivalents. This is reactant, that is product. For hydrogen, no data is given. For these two, data is given. So I have already told you, as per principle of Gram equivalence, the equivalence of all the components of a chemical reaction is same. So same principle I will apply here, students. Equivalence of metal oxide should be equal to equivalence of water. Okay. How do you get equivalence? Weight by equivalent weight. Equivalent weight of, again, metal oxide is equal to 1.8 divided by formula mass for water 18, N factor. Here simply you can write H2O. For oxygen minus 2, for 2 hydrogens 2 into plus 1 plus 2. So area of the charge is 2. So 18 by 2 you can write. So 8.6 divided by equivalent weight of metal. I am splitting metal and oxide. Oxide equivalent weight we know 8. This is 1.8 by 9. Now simplify this. 0.2 to 43. So equivalent weight of metal is equal to 43 minus 8. That is 35. That is your final answer. Students, please note it down carefully. Just I have applied the principle of Gramme equivalence. I have equated the equivalence of metal oxide with equivalence of water. Equivalence of metal oxide already we have solved some in 3 different numericals. I have solved this part, no problem. Only weight is different. Okay. Now come to this water equivalent. One side I will explain, no problem. H2 oxygen minus 2, hydrogen plus 1. 2 such hydrogens, total plus 2 and minus 2. So simply you can take it as n factor as 2. So 18 by 2, 9 is the equivalent mass of water. Okay. Now you can take it out. That is by calculation you will get this point goes and 43 minus 8, 35. That is the equivalent mass of the metal. What exactly it is involving in this reaction. Please note it down, and then I will go for next numerical. Okay, student, get ready. A very good question I am giving you. Concentrate. Very good question. In the reaction, just I am writing RCN. Please, in the reaction, a little bit organic is here. No need of organic knowledge. No problem. Without organic knowledge also, we can understand. COH, he has given 0.02 mole. This is a compound, a reactant. Silver nitrate has given excess and changes into finally silver of 10.8 grams for silver data he has given, plus another compound he has given CH3, CH2, X, CH3. Right. Here he has given some data by considering OH group also acidic, organic data. OH group also acidic. Question is, I will write the question here. Please first write down this, then I will go for the question string. So please write down. I will wait for 1 minute. COH bond line, CHOH total X times, and then a bond, single bond, COOH, remaining thing you know, CH3, CH2 taken X, CH3. It means all these are changing into hydrocarbon part, nothing more than that. But we can easily calculate this. Target is question is, you have to find the GMW of this compound. That is better. Instead of writing all the sentence, simply you can write the question there itself. What is the molar mass of that substance? When you will get the molar mass of that substance? 12 plus 3, 15, 15. But CH2, 14, but how many X? Yes. First of all, we should find out the value of X. Then we can easily calculate the DMW of that product. Very simple. Again, this is a chemical reaction. The equivalents are same for a chemical reaction. I am going to give that. The equivalents are same for a chemical reaction. Same concept I am going to apply. Now, I don't know the n factor of this. Okay, no problem. I can do that. I am going to write equivalence of the substance. should be equal to equivalence of sulfur. I am going to equate the equivalence of these two substances. Students, no space is there to write. Just try to understand. Equivalence of this substance equal to equivalence of this, equal to equivalence of this, equal to equivalence of this. That's what the principle of gram equivalence we learn. Right? Now, how you get equivalence? Moles into n factor. I'm going to calculate the n factor of this is equal to equivalence of silver. For silver, weight he has given. Here silver is in +1. Here the same silver is 0. N factor is 1. Ag plus Ag 1. So equivalence are weight by atomic weight divided by valency. Equivalent weight and atomic weight are both are same. So you can write 0.1. So n factor you will get it as 5. Calculate this. So among that 5, there is one CH3 here, one CH3 here. So x equal to 5 minus 2, that is 3. 3. Don't forget about that. So x value is 3. N factor is 5. But all the carbons are changing into a hydrocarbon part, carbon and hydrogen part. So you have to subtract these two. So remaining x value is 3. Now we can write this CH3, CH2 taken thrice, CH3. Now we can calculate the molar mass. 15 for this, 15 for this, 30. 12 plus 2, 14. 14 3s are 42. So that is 70. So finally we got the molar mass of that substance. See, the moment you see the question, oh, there will be a lot of confusion. What is this compound, organic, about? No, very simple it is. Without having any organic knowledge, with zero knowledge of organic chemistry, you can solve by applying the concept of the principle of gram equivalence. I have just equated the equivalence of this and this. For this silver, n factor is 1. For this I don't know, but I can equate the equivalence. 0.02 into n factor equal to 0.1. So n factor equal to 5. So x equal to, why I have taken x only as 3? After getting n factor 5, that is the important step in the question. Because all the carbons are changing. This carbon is changing to CH3, this carbon is changing to CH3, this is also changing into CH3. That's why total n factor is 5. Out of that, for getting x, you have to subtract 1 plus 1, 2. So 5 minus 2, only 3. So here only 3. So finally I got x value as 3. And after getting x value 3, then only you can calculate molar mass by adding all the respective atomic weights of carbon and hydrogen. And the final answer is 72. Okay, students? It's a very good question. Please note it down. Very good question. And I am going to conclude this, not only this session, I am going to conclude the concept of equivalent weight today itself in this session. And in the next session, I will go for very good important application part of all the things what we have learned here. The next level of stoichiometry, that is concentration terms. Well, many of you may know, some of you may know about that. Anyway, in next session, I am going to start a fresh topic of stoichiometry, next level topic of stoichiometry, that is concentration terms. As of now, I am going to conclude this. Thank you.